Okay, so thank you, everybody. I think you people that have experienced the webinars that Edupro kindly have put on for you recently has predominantly been for the benefit of those that have engaged in the Green Talent Awards, but it is open to anybody that has a passion for sustainability. Today's a particularly interesting webinar, and Fajli will introduce you to Fajli later, but Fajli very kindly offered to explain the role of artificial intelligence in shaping sustainability, particularly within the setting of a circular economy. So I'm particularly fascinated in seeing how AI can benefit us and also understand some of the threats that it might have as equally as the benefits. Next slide, please. So I think you know a little bit about me. For those that don't know me, my background was originally a civil engineer. I worked for a big corporation in my career for Hanson. Hanson was a conglomerate, but my background was in construction materials, coastal shoreline engineering, building, construction, mining, and mineral extraction. And I converted then into later on into finance. So I've worked all the way around the world, different countries, from Philippines to China to Africa and Europe, and I've been involved in sustainability, one by design, but also by default. And so currently now I'm an academic, but I still remain with one foot in practitioner's roles, and I get actively involved in the restoration of waterways, eco-farming, and looking at green technology to support fledgling businesses that are requiring sustainable funding. So next slide, please. So let's have a look at what Edupro have kindly been offering you since June. The opportunity for you to position yourself in the shop window, create a monopolistic advantage in sustainability, because we're all involved in it. But by getting involved in this Green Talent Award program, you're able to demonstrate the virtues of your understanding, knowledge, and expertise regarding various case studies that the Edupro team have given you. We've gone through round 1, 2, and the round 3. We are shortly, I believe, going to prepare and announce the results, and we'll finally move on to round 4, where we'll be hosting at Leeds University, our main sponsor, and offering a hybrid for those that can't attend. But you can see the main attraction of Edupro is that it's providing a far reach to different countries. So we've had up to 22 countries originally, and now we're sort of whittling down through the different teams to the different countries. And this has been a real eye-opener in terms of internationalization and sustainability. And we're hoping that some of these projects we can actually help and support through in-kind investment and financial investment, seed capital, because we'd like some of these businesses to go live. So this is great for your CV. It's great for your ability to demonstrate what you can achieve in sustainability. And we're getting close to, hopefully in round 4, announcing some winners. Next slide, please. So I'm going to get a little bit of introduction, and I'm sure Fajli will tell you a little bit about herself shortly. But Fajli was what I describe as a green entrepreneur, someone that is able to demonstrate sustainability by doing. And so involved in building and construction, in sustainable projects, sustainable processes in terms of tendering, understanding how businesses can embed sustainability into their offering through CSR and ESG and ERS, and also not just in the construction but she's also managed to go into different sectors, support services, technology, transportation, and she sits on various roles within sort of very high esteemed roles within global sustainability and inclusion at government level and also worldwide. So we are quite honoured to have Fajli present this to us because, as I say, Fajli is really exposed to the doing side of how organisations can get the best out of sustainability. And on this topic particularly, it's about AI because we see it as an opportunity, we see it as a threat, and it'll be very interesting to see how AI we can engage in AI as individuals and as institutions and organizations. So I will now hand over to Fajli, and bearing in mind those that are attending in the learning process from academic institutions, Fajli has strong connections across universities such as Warwick and Northampton, and so she understands the learning process, and she understands you as the green learners and what your needs are. So Fajli, thank you very much, and I hand you over, and I hope everybody looks forward to the outcome of this presentation as much as me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert. Really appreciate that kind introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. Before I begin, I'd like you all to imagine it's year 2030. The world has reached net zero. Cities are waste-free. Clean energy flows reliably to every home and businesses. Every child, regardless of where they are born, has access to opportunities in thriving, fair economy. Now imagine the opposite, a planet pushed past its limits. More floods, more fire, more inequality because we delayed action. Both futures are possible. The choices we make today will decide which one becomes reality. That is the conversation that we will be having today. So, as Rob has mentioned, my name is Fajli, and I am the president of the Global Sustainability and Inclusion Center of Excellence. Thank you to Edupro for all their help and support and for inviting me, and also a massive thanks to University of Leeds, who I work very closely as well. So this webinar, I want this to be a global classroom, a place where we learn, we share, and we commit to action together. Because the challenges that we are facing, climate change, resource depletion, inequality, do not recognize borders, and neither can our solution. And so today I will be, next slide please. Okay, so as the global president of the Global Sustainability Inclusion, I mean, this is what we're actually specializing. We embed ESG and SDG alignment into strategy, and we transition to net zero. And these are our mission and our vision. But we focus on the 3 Ps, the people, planet, and profit. So we have planet-focused initiatives like circular economy, net zero. We have people-centric services on equality, diversity, and inclusion, and profit-related strategies embedding financial sustainability into business models. And next slide, please. So if I could ask you all, I think some of you have already started writing your name and the country that you're from in the inbox, but it would really give us a bit of a background from where you are all from. And because most of the projects that I will be sharing are global, but it would be nice to know who is actually on the call today. Next slide. So today's agenda, I'm going to take you through. I'll begin with my own journey because our personal stories shape the way we lead and the way we work. And then I'll define what sustainability, circular economy, and AI means simply. And we'll explore the global commitment and why this is important and so urgent. I'll share how AI can accelerate circular economy through the pillars of smarter resource management, circular innovation and design, inclusive access and equity. We'll discuss the risks, ethics, and governance framework because AI is a double-edged sword. And finally, I'll share some pathway forward before we open for questions. And at the end, I will leave you with a challenge, a call to action. So my barriers, from barriers to breakthrough, in my journey began far from a boardroom and a global stage. As a young girl in the UK, I was told at school that I would never be successful, not because of my ability, but because I was a woman from a British Bangladeshi background and from a Muslim religion. That same year, I achieved the highest mark in my school, and I made a promise to myself I would never allow other people's ceilings to define my future. And I want you all to believe that you have the ability and the capability to achieve anything you want. Today, I have been working over 25 years across the world, across government, businesses, and community leadership, and I have led a historic change through becoming the first female director in 200 years at a global FTSE 250 company. Also, I've been recognized by the Times Higher Education as a global leader in sustainability, and I've been speaking across the world from BIMWELL Munich to BIMWELL Copenhagen, and recently speaking at the Global Sustainability Leaders Summit in Istanbul, where I chaired the Circular Economy panel at the Global Sustainable Development Congress. Every time I was told, you can't, I turned around, turned that into a fuel, and I said, watch me. Today, I am who I am because of my resilience and my determination, not to confine to other people's view of me. So my message, don't let anyone else define you. Next slide, please. So let's step back and now look at the bigger picture. When we are facing unprecedented global challenges, and the world is at a turning point. By 2050, our population will reach 10 billion. Materials demand is expected to exceed to triple, and global waste will rise by 70%. The climate crisis is intensifying, biodiversity loss is accelerating, inequality is deepening, and our current linear economy, the model of take, make, waste, is pushing the planet to its limits. The linear economy is broken. But there is another way, the circular economy, a system where we design out waste, keep materials in use, and regenerate nature instead of endless extraction and discarding. We build cycles, design, reuse, recycle, and reinvent. The challenge is this: shifting from a linear economy requires scale, speed, and intelligence that human systems alone cannot deliver. That's where artificial intelligence comes in. AI can help us see patterns we cannot, optimize systems too complex for human mind, and unlock innovations that accelerate sustainability. But if misused, AI can also accelerate harm. So how can AI help us to accelerate not just business as usual, but to accelerate the transition to a circular, inclusive, and sustainable future? So my frame for today's journey is sustainability is the vision, circular economy is the model, and AI is the accelerator. Together, they give us the clarity, structure, and speed. Not tomorrow, not in 2030, but today. So let me ask you, when you think of AI for sustainability, what comes in your mind? Innovation, risk, or opportunity? Oh, please do put some of that feedback in the chat box, which we will have a look later on. Next slide, please. So let's begin by diving into AI and circular economy, but let's also look at the definition of sustainability. The classic definition is simple: meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. But I prefer my own personal one. We did not inherit this planet from our ancestors. We are borrowing it from our children. And that means we carry the responsibility to leave it better than we found it. Too many organizations still use sustainability as a report, compliance exercise, or a CSR paragraph, but that's not enough. The organizations that are making real progress are the ones that place sustainability in the heart of the organization, the mission, the strategy, and governance. And I implemented that as the first female director of Interserve, a global FTSE 250 company where we employed over 70,000 people. Sustainability was within our DNA, and we achieved historic outcome, not just in diversity, but environmental and financial growth. At its core is the sustainability rests on three interconnected principles, the triple bottom line: environmental sustainability, protecting the planet by managing resources, reducing pollution, and conserving biodiversity. And then the social sustainability, ensuring fairness, equity, human rights, and well-being for people and communities. And then the economic sustainability, creating prosperity and jobs without exhausting resources or deepening inequality. True sustainability happens only when we balance all three: people, planet, and profit. Unfortunately, too often, economic growth has been prioritized at the expense of social justice and environmental health. And that imbalance lies at the heart of today's global crisis. Next slide, please. So there are many tools that are used to measure data. One of them is NVC, IBM's NVC. Organizations still manage sustainability in silos: carbon tracked in one place, water in another, waste in a spreadsheet, energy somewhere else. The fragmentation makes it almost impossible to see the whole picture. That's where our partner, IBM, has the solution, which is NVC. NVC gives the client the power. IBM's ESG suite that unifies sustainability data into one source of truth. NVC consolidates energy, carbon, water, waste, and supply chain data, then uses AI and analytics to highlight the inefficiencies and opportunities. Next slide, please. As I said, AI is the accelerator. Now we come to our framing. AI has as the accelerator, and let me start by saying this clearly. AI is not the hero of our story. It is not here, it's not here to save us. The hero is still us, the leaders, the communities, the innovators, the policymakers. AI is simply the accelerator, the tool that helps us move faster and smarter towards our vision, which is sustainability. AI also helps us see patterns we cannot. From climate data to supply chains, AI can detect insights hidden in complexities. It optimizes complex systems. Whether it's managing renewable energy grids, waste logistics, or water systems, AI helps us balance speed, scale, and efficiency. It unlocks innovation at a scale and speed, from designing new circular materials to predicting the impact of climate risks. AI expands the frontier of what's possible. But here's the truth. AI does not replace human purpose. AI accelerates human potential. It doesn't replace it. The question is not whether AI will shape the future. It already is. The real question is, will we guide it towards accelerating sustainability and inclusion, or let it accelerate business as usual? And that is the choice before us today. Next slide, please. So the circular economy is, I class it as the model and an enabler. Circular economy is about designing for the next life, not the end of life. This is where innovation happens, products designed to be reused, repaired, and remanufactured. Materials sourced from recycled or renewable imports. Business models shifting from ownership to services, from linear consumption to a circular use. When I led regeneration projects in deprived communities, we didn't build short-term fixes. We built assets that people are still using today. That's the mindset. Design not for the landfill, but for the next cycle. And it just isn't theory. I have been recognized as an industry leader in circular economy and circular social value in transport, having completed a major research in partnership with the University of Warwick and University of Northampton and the UK Department for Transport. Through this research, we demonstrated how transport systems deliver circular outcomes and creates measurable social value, proving that sustainability is not just about reducing harm, but about actively designing systems that regenerates both society and the planet. But today, our reality is the linear economy. We take resources, we make products, we use it, and we throw them away. That model has driven growth, but it's no longer viable. Each year, we extract over 100 billion tons of materials, but less than 9% is reused. If this continues, by 2050, we'll need the resources of 3 planets, and waste is piling up. from plastics in our oceans to waste in landfill. Thank you. AI accelerates human potential, as I said. Let's bring that to life. AI can accelerate sustainability and the circular economy in the three powerful ways. Smarter resource management. AI is transforming how we manage resources. Recycling plants now use AI-powered robots to sort plastics, metals, and glass with far faster and greater precision than humans. Supply chains can predict disruptions before they happen and route material to reduce waste. In Finland, AI systems are optimizing industrial energy use, cutting emissions while saving costs. A true win-win. In the Netherlands, a recycling company uses AI-powered robots to sort waste faster and more accurately than human, significantly improving recycling rates and reducing landfill dependency. 2. Accelerate innovation. AI is also driving innovation in design and materials. It can stimulate product life cycle, predicting environmental impacts before anything is built. It helps us discover new materials like biodegradable plastics and composite, making products circular by design. It even enables business models like products as a service, where companies lease products and ensure reuse, recycling at the end of the life. A major global brand used AI to design a fully recyclable shoes. Every material was tracked, every component was reusable. That's circular innovation in action. And third, inclusion and equity. Sustainability is not just about the planet, it's also about the people. AI can help us make progress on inclusion and fairness. It can map communities most vulnerable to climate impact. It can support inclusive hiring for green jobs, but reducing bias in recruitment systems. And it can give decision makers the insight to ensure policies benefit everyone, not just the privileged few. But here's the key. This only happens if we design AI with ethics and inclusion at the core. Remember, technology is only part of the solution, and culture eats our strategy for breakfast. That's why at GSI, we built the AI-powered ICE Tracker, a tool that measures individual behaviors, insights, and highlights progress and nudges new habits. When people see that their actions matter, they change faster. And when behavior shifts, culture shifts. So here's my challenge. Pick just one behavior in your team: travel, energy, procurement, and create a nudge to make the sustainable choice the easy choice. Next slide, please. The risks and responsibilities. Up to now, we've seen the potential of AI to accelerate sustainability. But let's be honest, AI is not risk-free. If misused, it could undermine the very goals that we are trying to achieve. There are 4 critical challenges we must keep in mind: data bias and inequality. AI is only as fair as the data we feed it. If the data is biased, the outcome will be biased. A recruitment AI at a global tech. The company discriminated against women because it was trained on male-dominated hiring data. Climate adoption tools sometimes miss rural or informal communities if satellite image is incomplete, meaning the most vulnerable will get left over. AI for sustainability must be designed with diverse representative data. Energy consumption. Training AI models takes huge amounts of energy. MIT found that training one large AI model created 280,000 kilograms of CO2, the same as 5 cars over the entire lifetime. Data centers already consume 1 to 1.5% of global electricity, and that is rising. Google DeepMind applied AI to data center cooling, cutting cooling energy use by 40% and overall energy by 15%. Hugging Face created a tool to measure the carbon footprint of AI, helping developers choose greener models. AI doesn't just consume energy, it can optimize itself. But we must demand transparency and push for green AI powered by renewable. And then the greenwashing. Companies claim to use AI for sustainability without proof of impact. CDP using AI to audit climate reports, flagging vague or misleading claims. So using AI to map its supply chains and prove its materials are recycled. That is being done in Patagonia, building transparency and trust. AI should fight greenwashing, not fuel it. Next slide, please. This is, I'm sure most of you will know, this is the first AI legislation. It is AI is moving faster than law. Without wait, it risk multiply. And so in 2024, European Union launched the AI Act, classifies AI systems by risk. It bans harmful use like social scoring. It requires transparency and human oversight in high-risk systems, including environmental monitoring and infrastructure. It introduces a CE marking for AI, just like we see on safe physical product. In Singapore, its AI governance framework is now a model across Asia, focusing on accountability and explanatory. So the governance ensures AI serves the public good, but regulations must go global, not regional, if we want first standards. So here are the risks: bias, energy use, weak governance, and greenwashing. But there's the hope. Companies, government, and innovators are already showing how to tackle them. From inclusive AI in an Indian agriculture to energy optimized center to Europe's AI Act. So we are seeing pathways forward. The lesson is this: responsible AI is possible, but only if we embed ethics, transparency, and inclusion at every step. AI is a double-edged sword. The question is not whether it has risks, it's whether we have the courage to manage them responsibly. Next slide, please. So, the Internet of Things. I'm actually, because we are, this is being managed by somebody else, my slides, I just need to find the section on Internet of Things. Thank you. Now, Internet of Things. Sometimes it's often overlooked in sustainability conversations, Internet of Things or IoT. It's really simple. IoT is the idea that everybody objects. Bins, buildings, vehicles, and energy meters, embedded with sensors and connected to the internet. These devices collect real-time data on usage, performance, and environmental condition. That data is then shared with AI and cloud platforms where it can be analyzed and acted upon. Think of IoT as the planet's nervous system, constantly censoring and transmitting information that helps us to act smarter, faster, and greener. We are already seeing this in action. Smart grids balance renewable energy supply and demand. Smart bins signals when they need collection, reducing wasted fuel and emissions. Smart buildings automatically adjust lighting, heating, and cooling to save the planet. The next slide, please. AI and IoT are transforming how cities handle municipal solid waste. Smart bins use sensors to track fill levels and odors, sending a real-time alerts to trucks, only collect when needed. AI-powered sorting systems use robotics and computer visions to separate plastics, metals, and glass more accurately than human. Predictive analytics forecast waste spikes during festivals or peak seasons so cities can plan well ahead. Next slide, please. And here's where blockchain adds a powerful layer. Blockchain is a secure digital ledger that tracks every steps in process. In waste management, it ensures recyclables are traceable across the entire life cycle, from collection to reprocessing. That builds trust, accountability. So when a company says this bottle was recycled, they can prove it. The results are impressive. Combining AI, IoT, and blockchain can cut operational costs by up to 25%, reduce vehicle trips by 20%, and shrink carbon footprint significantly. But here's the real takeaway. This isn't just about efficiency. AI, IoT, and blockchain together enables the circular economy in practice, turning waste into resource, increasing transparency, and designing smarter, greener cities. This is exactly what I mean when I say sustainability is the vision, circular economy is the model, and AI is the accelerator. Next slide, please. So now that we've seen specific examples, let's step back to look at the 5 big dimensions where AI is already transforming sustainability. Energy optimization. AI helps us use energy smarter. Smart grids balance renewable energy supply and demand in real time. Predictive maintenance ensures wind turbines and solar farms run efficiently. AI can even provide real-time carbon tracking, helping organizations stay on track for net zero. Waste management, we've already seen this in action. Computer vision sorts waste more accurately than humans. Blockchain and AI tracks materials across the life cycle, creating transparency and accountability in recycling systems. Third, sustainable supply chain. AI is transforming logistics. It predicts demand, reducing overproduction and waste. It helps reroute shipments, cutting delays and carbon footprints. It ensures resources are used where they are needed most. Climate modeling and risks. AI can see the signals human might miss. It powers early warning systems for floods, droughts, and wildfires. It helps cities and businesses prepare for climate shocks, protecting lives and reducing losses. Smart cities. Finally, AI is helping us design cities that are healthier and greener. Sensors track air and water quality in real time. AI manages traffic flow to reduce congestion and emissions. Together, these tools make urban life more sustainable and resilient. The big picture is AI is not just about efficiency. Across these 5 dimensions, it is unlocking speed, scale, and intelligence we need to deliver sustainability and the circular economy in practice. Next slide, please. Okay. Everything we've talked about today, sustainability, the circular economy, and the role of AI, fits into a much bigger global story. In 2015, world leaders came together at the United Nations and adopted the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. These goals cover everything from ending poverty and hunger to achieving gender equality, to building sustainable cities, to urgent climate action. The SDGs are interconnected because they cannot tackle climate change without also tackling inequality, or design a circular economy without also thinking about jobs and education. The target is 2030. Here's the reality. We are now halfway there, but progress is uneven. And in some areas, we are falling behind. This is why AI and circular innovation matter so much. They are not replacements of SDGs. They are accelerators that can help us close the gap and deliver results at the scale and speed the world needs. So when we talk about AI for sustainability, it isn't a side product. It's about contributing to the global blueprint for a fairer, greener, and more prosperous future. Next slide, please. Alongside the SDGs, another historic milestone was reached in 2015, the Paris Agreement. For the first time in history, nearly every nation on Earth agreed on a shared goal to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees and to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Why 1.5? Because beyond that threshold, the science is clear. Extreme weather becomes far more destructive. Biodiversity loss accelerates, and the vulnerable communities bear the greatest burden. The Paris Agreement set the targets, but here's the truth. We are already off track. Global emissions are still rising, and the window to act is closing fast. This is where the link to our conversation today becomes critical. Sustainability gives us the vision. Circular economy gives us the model, and AI can be the accelerator to help us cut emissions, scale renewable energy, and manage resources with the intelligence and speed we urgently need. The Paris Agreement gives us the deadline. AI and circular innovation can help us deliver that action. The next slide, please. Thank you. After the global commitments of the SDGs and the Paris Agreement, we also need to look at the rules and frameworks and regulations shaping how organizations must act. Because the era of voluntary sustainability is over. We are now in an era of mandatory accountability. Here are some of the most important frameworks. The Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive in the in the EU, companies must now disclose sustainability performance with the same weight as financial reporting. EU taxonomy, the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure, the International Sustainability Standards Board, this is the global baseline. Think of ISSB as doing for sustainability what the International Accounting Standards do for finance, creating consistency, comparability, and trust across the markets. Its standards cover general sustainability and climate-related disclosure. And then in the UK, we have the net zero strategy, legally binding carbon budget requiring businesses and government alignment to a net zero pathways. The message here is clear. Sustainability is no longer just a report or a PR exercise. It is regulated, measured, and enforced. And that's where AI becomes so important. AI can help us gather accurate data, track progress in real time, and meet these global standards with transparency and integrity. Or, as I like to say, the planet doesn't negotiate, and now regulators don't either. Next step. Next slide, please. I call this the 6-step sustainability framework because every actions we take, we create ripples, shaping systems and legacies far beyond ourselves. The 6 forces you can act on today: the vision, the seed of change. Sustainability must be tied to a purpose, not PR. If it's not in the boardroom, it's not real. Circular design, the loop of renewal. Think next life, not end of life. Products, processes, and systems must regenerate, not deplete. Data, the lens of clarity. What gets measured gets changed. That's where tools like IBM NVZ are vital. Unifying ESG data so organizations can act with precision not guesswork. Behavior, the spark of culture. Systems don't change unless people do. Tools like the ICE tracker nudge everyday habits, turning behavior into culture and culture into legacy. Inclusion, the heart of leadership. Who sits at the table determines who benefits. Inclusive leadership drives fairness, equity, and innovation we need for a just transition. And then finally, the partnerships, the power of unity. No one can do this alone. Government, corporates, academia, and communities must come together. Alliances are what make change systematic. Here's what I want you to remember. A seed of vision can grow into a forest of change. A spark of behavior can ignite a culture. A loop of circular design can become a lasting legacy. Never underestimate the power of your single action. It could be the first domino that shifts the system. This is how we move from vision to model to accelerator and create the future we need together. The next slide, please. Let's bring today's journey together with some global takeaways. Sustainability is about balance, environment, society, and the economy must all work together. The circular economy shows us how designing out waste, keeping materials in use, regenerating natural systems. AI's potential is clear. It can help us manage resources smarter, accelerate innovation, and make solutions more inclusive. But there are risks. Energy use, bias, greenwashing, and gaps in governance, which means our task to align AI with sustainability and inclusion so it becomes an accelerator for circular and resilient future. But let's also look ahead. What could the world look like in 2030 if we get this right? Circular supply chains with real-time carbon and waste tracking, AI-driven design hubs, creating materials that regenerate instead of deplete, more equitable economies where green jobs are widely accessible, smart cities where waste is virtually eliminated because materials are constantly reused, and a global economy where prosperity is measured not just by GDP, but by sustainability and inclusion. This future won't just happen. It requires leaders, organizations, and communities to act boldly now. Here are the three things organizations can do today. Adopt responsible AI framework, ensuring transparency, fairness, and sustainability in every step. Invest in AI solutions, from smarter resource tracking to AI-driven product design. Build partnerships, because no single sector can do this alone. At GIS, we work to bring together corporates, government, academia, and communities, because the best solutions are born in collaboration, not in competition. Research becomes innovation, policy becomes practice, and pilot scales into systematic change. AI is not magic, and it is not neutral. It reflects the choices we make. If we align technology with sustainability and innovation with inclusion, then AI can be one of the most powerful accelerators we have to shape a better future. As we accelerate, the Edupro Talent Awards 2025, I want to leave you with this challenge. What one action can you take to ensure AI is used to advance sustainability and inclusion in your field? Because if each of us take one step together, we can create momentum for systematic change. The future is not inherited. The future is created, and together, starting today, we can create a future that is greener, fairer, and more resilient. Next one, please. Now, I'd love to open the floor for your questions, reflections, and examples from your own work. The frame our discussion, let's leave you with the thought. The SDGs give us the blueprint, the Paris Agreement gives us the deadline, and the EU AI Act gives us the accountability. But the missing piece, the one thing frameworks cannot deliver, is our courage to act. So let's use this space, this global classroom, to explore your idea and your role in the transformation. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Fajli. That was wonderful. You can see for the appreciation that you've had that it's gone down very well with your audience. Fakrul, I don't know if Fakrul's on the line.
Yes.
Could you manage the questions?
Yes,
so if there are
definitely.
any questions, and I'll mute myself now.
Dear participants, kindly make your questions. If you have, I think Emmanuel has raised his hand. Kindly unmute yourself and ask the question.
All right. Thank you so much for the presentation. I just have some few questions to ask. When I want to know how we can use AI to address issues of inclusion and equity in sustainability efforts. And then the second question will be on the circular economy. So how can small businesses with limited resources implement AI solutions for sustainability and then the circular economy practices? Are there affordable tools or starting points you would recommend for organizations that want to begin this journey? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Really good questions. And I think I've covered some of it already, where I said AI is what we feed into the AI. If we actually ensure that the data that we're feeding into the AI is actually for measuring and creating that inclusive environment, that's what we will measure. So AI doesn't have a mind of its own. It is what we put into the AI. That's what the data it generates and it collects. With SMEs, sorry, with SMEs, we have seen, phenomenal financial growth when SMEs embrace sustainability and circular economy because they are reducing waste. They are saving money on energy. So for me, I do see as an SME, if I start saving on my waste, on my energy usage. Sorry, was there somebody asking? So we can actually definitely be much more financially sustainable. So sustainability, as I said, it's much more wider than just about the environment. So circular economy, for me, it's about reducing your waste and seeing how efficient you are and the energy that you are using.
Sorry, Fajli, kindly unmute yourself. We are not hearing.
Okay, so yes, I think I was muted.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fakrul. So I suppose it is entirely up to us what we feed into the AI and what outcome we want to achieve from that. And as I said to you previously, the case study that when you feed data, and it is, for example, recruitment fed in from a male-dominated role, that's what the AI will actually create a biased result. But that's why you need to make sure that everything that you feed in is the outcome that you want to achieve.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We have received an interesting question in the chat box. Fajli Bibi MA make the question, AI systems are not environmentally friendly. Do you think this would be a problem in the near future?
I think I've already covered that in my speech where I said that it is not environmental, but we can make sure that we use renewable and green energy to make sure that we are not impacting the global carbon footprint. So there are certain ways, as I mentioned in my case study, that Google are already using green energy to work on AI.
Thank you so much. There are many hands raised, so I will take one by one. And since we have the limited time, we'd like to ask Precious Prince to ask the question. The
Okay,
others,
so hi, so this is actually a reflection. I'd like to say that the presentation was well done, well thought through. I know a lot of times when we talk about AI, we talk about the impact that it has on the environment and its use of fresh water. But it was really nice where you was like speaking about how it could actually be beneficial to us in the future. It actually gave me a bit of hope because when you know you look at the Paris Agreement and you look at where we're at, we're really falling behind. So it gave me a lot of hope that we can use AI to push forth and accelerate, as you said, us into this green world and this green energy. So thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you so much for your feedback. Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you. Botemark International Service raised your hand. Please ask the question with by unmuting yourself. Since we have the time limit, I think Dennis, please, would you please?
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Okay, so I have a question. Going with the fact that, like you talked about, that AI is being fed with data, that we ourselves, we're the ones that put in the data, and talking about environmental changes that happen in the environment and in the climate. So I want to ask, how reliable is the predictive nature of AI in trying to study an environment to give future analysis of decisions we need to take in the future. So I want to really know how reliable is the predictive nature of AI in giving us some analysis for future things we need to do to tackle with environmental and climate issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good question. And only if I had the accurate answer for you, because it is a very good question. As I mentioned, AI only gives us the answers according to the data that we put in. So as I said to you earlier, that if AI is trained to capture certain areas from a satellite, it will miss out the certain communities as well. So these are some of the research that's still being carried out. But one thing I would say that we as human beings, it is up to us also to check that data. And so that's why the work that we do, some of our trackers actually and assessment tools that we use AI to assess, but as human being, we also look through that and check that before we share it with our clients. So I would say don't rely 100% on AI. You have the power, and make sure you also check the results, because I'm not sure AI can give you 100% accuracy at this very moment in time, but the future, it could.
Thank you very much. Samuel Fosa Austin.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this session today. Thanks so much for the lesson
our moderator, Fajli. I want to say Fajli. Thank you so much. All right. My question is two ways. One is, I know you ended this session with saying that our problem or the limitation is courage. We don't have courage to do the right thing for our planet. What is your thoughts on identity, especially when it comes to identity for credit scoring and how we can integrate that into sustainability? Is a thought. I work on it as well for the African continent because identity is just rising here. And I believe we can have our identity tied down to sustainability, just the same way the UK has the NI number. I was there. Can we integrate that and have sustainability done through it? That's one angle. The second angle is definitely AI can help us with a lot of things, but we're seeing a lot of softwares, application for sustainability, for analytics, all of that kind of stuff, where they're collecting data, like the one you showed us with IBM. They're collecting data, putting those data on these applications, but they are not integrated into artificial intelligence as verified data. So we have artificial intelligence, but are they verified enough? So what's your thought on how can we have verified data that can be integrated into AI to help us in various sectors? Do you have a thought on it? Is this something we can also still work on? I personally feel like I'll be sending you a message after this to talk more on these two questions I've asked: identity and verified information.
Thank you. Very good questions. And as I said, AI is still in progress. It's not the end result. And the identity, I think that the European, I know you're not in the EU, but the European AI Act does actually clearly stipulate certain areas that it does ban people from utilizing AI to measure or monitor people's identity. And there's the bias side of it as well, which I mentioned earlier, that we do need to make sure that the data that we are feeding into the AI, it's not biased data as well, because as I said, information you are feeding in is the outcome that you will get. So make sure that the information is inclusive as well. But I'd love to have a further conversation with you about this, because these are the areas that we love to have discussions about with people on. And I'm sure Rob will tell you the last time we spoke, we might have needed 24 hours rather than 2 hours for a chat that we started. So I can talk to you forever, but from talking, as I mentioned, collaboration is the key. We come up with outcomes and results, and the solutions that we create together will be phenomenal. So yeah, I'm happy to have a discussion later.
Thanks, Fajli. I'll reach out for sure.
I just came. How she showed me her own level was.
Thank you very much. Doreen, would you please ask your question? Peter, if you're there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I want to first of all thank Fajli for such a great presentation. I am Peter Ja from Ghana. So my question is, currently Ghana is known as the second largest producer of cocoa in terms of export. And currently the country is at the crossroad in terms of illegal mining in the country. And there is a widespread that looking at the impact of illegal mining, we are likely to import water by 2030. And also because of how the lands are degraded, there's likeliness that countries will not be interested in agricultural products from Ghana. So I want to ask, with AI immersion in sustainability, how can we harness, AI platform to be able to strengthen market intelligence, to be able to detect areas where there are illegal mining going on in order to expand farmers' access to finance, export, and support climate-smart decision-making for sustainable food system. And I think this will also be, by extension, Africa food security issues. How can we use AI to strengthen all these to be able to what? Harness AI platform to address these environmental challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for your kind words. It's a great question. I wish I had the answer, but at this very moment in time, sorry, can you mute, please? Thank you. At this very moment in time, I don't have that solution to that questions, but maybe we can also explore that as well in the future. But it's a very good question. I think it's a major issue that does need to be addressed. And I don't know if anybody within the team have a solution to this question, but at the moment I don't. So I'm not going to say to you I have. Rob, do you have a solution to the answer?
Yeah, I think we mustn't look at AI on its own as the panacea. I think what you asked regarding illegal mining, you have to look at the process. First of all, you look at the process by which mining licenses are issued, and then in the control measures of the regulation of the mine, the restoration planning, and pollution. So it's how we monitor it, and we do have ability to monitor through surveys, through land surveying, through geotechnics. We also have data logging. We have the ability to monitor not just physically in place, but also we're able to use technology to do that. So there are more monitoring devices that don't have to be human intensive. So you know, I think you look at this and how we can use technology to review, monitor, and provide the data to regulate. But a lot of it is coming through the government, and we've got to be very careful in terms of the ethics of the land ownership and how the licenses are permissions are given. And then there is the issue of how do we prevent illegal mining. And then you mentioned the fact that the damage it does to the land take in terms of erosion. And this is where we've got to have it, mining extraction controlled. And so yeah, so it's not just we have to be careful that AI isn't seen as a magic bullet to all problems, but it definitely has its part to play. So you know, that's my viewpoint on that, and that's something I've seen in not just Africa. It takes place in Southeast Asia, illegal mining, but communities are built on these mines, and also you've got to realize that, you know, we talk about landfill. A lot of people in poverty live on landfill sites, and they scavenge from landfill sites, and there's communities that are built on landfill sites. So the impact and the unintended consequences of changing things can have an impact in terms of on the way people live their lives. So it's quite complex, but AI is not the magic bullet alone on that one.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Fajli. We are receiving many questions actually, but as we have the time limitations, I think this is best to continue our discussion over the social media. We can take the questions to our LinkedIn page and we can reply. Fajli, what do you think? Because we are having a lot of questions. And Rob, what do you think? Should we go this way?
Yeah, that would be great. I wanted to actually, before we finish, to thank Rob and Fajli and the whole Edupro team and University of Leeds for creating this space and the opportunity for us to have a discussion in this. And I hope like we have some solutions, because I'm looking forward to some of the projects that are coming forward for, and there might be some solutions. But if any of you have any solutions that you think could help with AI, sustainability and circular economy to save the planet, we would love to hear about it. And please do send your questions either to Edupro, you've got the email address, and Fakro, you can send it to me, and I'm happy to respond to those questions as well.
So
Thank you very much.
one thing
Yeah.
I would suggest that's come out of this is what I would do is create a problem hopper. So if you have a problem and you're seeking a solution, and in your country or geographical location, it may relate it to mining, for example, and I've just thinking about the application of drones, for example, on to reduce illegal mining, because we can use drones in the air and we can monitor, and we use that for protecting elephants and rhinos in parts of Africa, and we can do it for mining. Now, what is encouraging is that if you can provide a problem and we can just send it to Fackrel, and Fackrel, if we could create a sort of problem hopper where we look at a problem and then it can come to the team and the community, and then we can share a potential solution. And a solution I look for is a quick win. Can it happen now? Is it no cost? And is it reversible? What we have is everybody's in different countries, and we are all doing little different things, whether it be waste, minimizing waste, recycling waste, conserving energy, reducing carbon. We need to share best practice. So my call out to Fackrel would be: send a problem, 2 sentences, not just a big, not a huge narrative. Your problem in 2 sentences, and let's capture them in a problem hopper, and then let's share potential solutions. And I think if we can do that, then that's going to get really interesting, because there are things that you're doing around the world that are innovative, simple, and we can share them around the world in different locations. So my call out is Fackrel. Let's get a problem hopper, 2 sentences max, 20 words max, and let's start sharing potential solutions.
Excellent. Excellent.
Can I also add to that, Rob? I think this is a great idea on the problem side, but also if you have any solutions that you've already implemented somewhere else, we would also like to hear about those as well. So maybe you could add some of the innovative solutions that you've created has helped in your part of the world. Then, you know, we could also explore that in other areas. So I'm because every one of us can come up with a solution, but I know I've actually said that we have to have the courage to sow the seed. But once you sow the seed, you will see the transformation that can come from that. So we'd love to hear some of those transformations that you have already made out there.
That's great.
Thank you very much.
So a pipeline of problems that we can see, and then we can start to discuss the solutions. That would be useful. Okay, thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for participating with your engagement and with active participation. Thanks, Fajli. Thanks, Rob.
And can I just say thank you to Fackrel. Fackrel puts a lot of work with the Edupro team to put these suite of webinars on. A lot of time and effort and organization goes in this. So Edupro, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fakro, for all your support, help and support. And also I'd like to thank Faisal for also inviting me to join this. So, and I look forward to working with Faisal, you and Rob. I'm looking forward to meeting you as well in November. And thank you to all of you for joining in this webinar, and I do look forward to meeting some of you in November.
Yeah, sure. Very soon. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Take care.
Have
Bye.
a good day,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Take care.
Take care. You had it.
Thank you everyone for your joining. It was a great pleasure to have you. We have shared the LinkedIn page link. Follow us on there. We'll share the video as well as we will share the presentation slides. Keep following us on social media, LinkedIn and the Facebook page. Some of the participants, I have seen that you have the device name. So if you could change the name and also share your email address so that we can share your certificate as soon as possible. Thank you once again for participating in this webinar. This is our upcoming webinar. Keep following us on Facebook and the LinkedIn and register for this webinar as well. It will be on 22nd of September. Same time. Please check your local time as well so that you can join this webinar. Hopefully we'll be enjoying the session as also. In the chat box, you will find the registration link. Please register yourself for the next webinar. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully you will be joining the next webinar and have a good day.